more new flywheelers from the hobby, even more new Nerf products leaked, and special coverage of the Maryland Foam Tournament from our special guest host.
I'm Grim.
I'm Mods.
I'm Jangular.
And I'm KT of Family Foam Sport. We are your hosts, all that and more in episode 33 of the Foam News Collective. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right into the news.
Someone grab a bucket because these leaks just keep on coming. Thanks to some leaked listings from General Strife, we now have more listings for the in-series blasters that have been popping up. For blasters, we have the Strikeback listed at €32.99 and the in-series Sprinter with no price listed. Additionally, we have listings for 2 and 1 dart refills listed at €5.19 for 20 darts and €10.99 for 50 darts respectively. These listings are listed for ages 8 and up, Hasbro's category for elite performant blasters on their website. As for older leaks, there were more listings for the in-series Agility and Gear Up pack from episode 26, and we also have what may be the in-series Infinite from episode 26 as well. Listed for €50, with 3 pieces, the Infinite closely resembles the unnamed blaster shown on the thumbnail for the Hasbro toy panel. Infinite or not, the blaster shares design language with the 8-shot blasters found in the Nerf Action Experience, shown all the way back in episode 24. Whatever in-series has in store, it's safe to guess we'll be seeing more of these this month, as the Agility was listed with a release date for May 6th this year. Buff Daddy also found some more information about the Fortnite halftone hero we reported on last episode. Per the Amazon listing, we now know it's a break-action Hammer Prime 6-shot blaster that includes 12 darts. While we don't have an image of the blaster, it's safe to guess it'll be the game's Mammoth pistol, as the only other break-action blasters in the game are all shotguns, all of which historically fire mega darts in the Nerf line.
In an interview with DigiDay about their acquisition of esports organization Faze Clan, GameSquare CEO Justin Kenna had a few interesting things to say about their partnership with Zuru and the X-Shot brand, giving us a glimpse of the now licensing-heavy market from the other side of the coin. He indicated that to this point they've exceeded all their sales targets for the line and they intend to continue the partnership for years to come. He also said that Zuru has gained a dramatic market share against Nerf. Not surprising considering X-Shot's dominance in international availability.
Following the critical acclaim of Worker's Nightingale blaster, hobbyists have been asking what comes next. Workers answer, the Nightingale 2.0. What at first may appear just to be a facelift is also a minor overhaul of the original Nightingale blaster. The Nightingale 2.0 is a 4S single-stage blaster, coming in semi-auto and an improved full-auto version. Rocking a larger battery compartment, higher torque motors, and a new Teflon barrel, the Nightingale boasts an impressive 130 FPS at just $90 United States dollars. On the cosmetic end, the Nightingale comes with a new look with 3 rails out of the box, and colorways to better match their Seagull offerings, with orange being an Out of Darts exclusive color. As always, links in the description.
Maryland Mayhem 2024 has come and gone, and by most accounts, it was a great success. With over 451 unique check-ins to the event, according to the official Instagram, the weekend was a massive undertaking for the Maryland Foam Alliance and the UMBC HvZ team. Both Vile and I attended the event and had a blast playing and hanging out with a ton of old and new friends from around the hobby. The official Mayhem Instagram shared the basics of the event's financials, revealing that their expenses doubled from around $5,000 in 2023 to over $10,000 this year, largely due to the switch to an indoor venue for Sunday's BlasterCon and 11th Hour. Like last year, the vast majority of the funding for this free-to-attend event came from sponsorships, with tournament registration fees a distant second, and a small deficit covered by the World Foam Alliance. For more detailed coverage on the meta and results of this year's Maryland Foam Tournament, we take you now to our special competitive correspondent, Jangular.
You know, I really didn't think I was ever gonna do any sort of news video again, but they lured me in with competitive, so let's talk about Maryland Foam Tournament. 18 teams, 11 of which were returning teams from 2023, converged on the Friday of Maryland Mayhem to compete in what is now the largest single tournament our hobby has seen. This is a fantastic sign for the growth of the competitive side of our hobby. And there's all kinds of numbers and metrics we can talk about in terms of showcasing the success of the event, but something I always like to say is that sports are stories, and the stories are the things that get us attached and involved and invested. So let's talk about some of the stories going into and coming out of Maryland Foam Tournament this year. Heading into this year's tournament, Magic Smoke, a local team, was looking to make it back-to-back wins as the defending champions. However, the field is 5 teams larger this year, so it's no easy task to complete. You've got teams like Nebula and Nebula International. Nebula, playing under the Team Smog banner at last year's Maryland Foam tournament, took 2nd place, and the international squad for Nebula took 3rd place at Ragnaroktoberfest last year. And then we've got Orca Company, who took 3rd place at last year's MFT, and Frumble, who has not placed lower than 4th in any tournament they've played in. That's a feat that's worth mentioning. They also took 4th at last year's Maryland Foam tournament. And that's not to mention the myriad of other teams that have plenty of accomplishments, like the A-Team, that have been all over the country competing since 2019. I would love to sit here and talk about every single team in depth and what they were like going into and coming out of the tournament, but that would be like a podcast episode segment, so let's talk about some trends. The biggest one to me being the growth in popularity of sister teams, those being teams that share in some level of identity with each other, usually coming from the same local group and scene, sometimes sharing members across different tournaments, or having some degree of ingratiation with each other, depending on the event. The examples at this event would be teams like Foam Rain and Dart Royalty, Magic Smoke and Mystic Vapor, Uno Draw 5 and Uno Reverse, and then Nebula and Nebula International. There's a variety of reasons why teams may choose to do this, but I'm just more interested in looking at the fact that there's more of these teams than there were last year. And thankfully I was able to keep an eye on the tournament because they provided a stream up on YouTube on the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel, which I greatly appreciated, and they stepped it up significantly from their stream last year. They had multiple camera angles so you could see just about everything going on the field at any time, which I really appreciated. And as far as the tournament itself, it ran what appeared to be very smoothly. It seemed like they were on time throughout basically the entire day. There were no major hiccups in terms of play or issues with players. I think I saw minimal disputes happen. I didn't really see any major blow-ups in terms of arguments or disagreements and things like that. Of course, people are going to get a little heated on the field. That's fine. Nobody took it off the field, it seemed, which I am always appreciative of in terms of keeping the sportsmanship aspect of our hobby and the sports side very much as a core focus. So thank you to everyone who continues to push that spirit of sportsmanship no matter how intense matches get. And the matches this year were fantastic. There were some really great, really close matches, including the finals where Magic Smoke went up against Nebula International and were barely able to eke out a victory in a very close match. I won't spoil the exact score because I do think you should go back and watch that match itself, but congrats to Magic Smoke in making it a back-to-back championship win for their team.
Oh, that round was about as scary as it got. I don't think I lived that if I'm not being told where I'm being shot from.
What is next for this team? This is a massive accomplishment. This is one of the larger tournaments that we have going on.
We're going to California. We're going to beat them on their own turf.
Oh! Shout out to Nebula, our sister team, and everybody else who made this tournament a blast. Like,
absolutely crazy.
This has only made it because of everybody we play with and the people who run this, so like, I don't think I've had more fun playing Nerf in a long time.
Now, next year, if they win it back a 3rd time, I think 3-peat means Dynasty, so that's an interesting storyline we should follow. As far as the rest of the podium, Nebula International, as mentioned in the finals, took 2nd, with Orca Company taking 3rd again, and Frumble taking 4th, making the top 4 almost identical to last year. I'm, again, very curious to see how things shake out next year. There are several tournaments between now and then, so what teams are going to make it to what events? Will Frumble be able to get their first tournament victory finally? Can Orca step up from 3rd into a higher podium position? Or will one of the newer teams displace any of those top 4 teams? There's a lot to consider and a lot I'm looking forward to. Again, I wish I could go into every little detail, but I only have so much time and I don't want to take it from everyone else on this show. So thanks for letting me talk about competitive. Maybe I can steal some more time next time there's a tournament.
Whoa! Pittsburgh Technical College HvZ just announced their 2024 Spring Invitational. It's called Jump Force 2 and it's super anime themed. It's taking place on May 17th and 18th, and it's open to the public for anyone 18 and up. Wow, it sounds super cool! Be sure to check out their link tree in the description for registration links, rules, and more. Let's go!
Gather your squad, form your strategy, and dominate the battlefield as you compete against the best Nerf enthusiasts around at the New England Extreme Dart 5v5 tournament. Registration is now open for the June 29th event at Extreme Airsoft Arena in South Kingstown, Rhode Island. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a newcomer looking to make a mark, this tournament is your chance to shine. So check the links down below for more information and to compete for exciting prizes and bragging rights as the ultimate foam flinging champion.
Check Your Vector has released the NPC-9, a Flycore-based 3D printed blaster that has been in development for well over 7 months. The NPC-9 can be built in a variety of form factors with micro, hurricane, or full-size flywheels. It's compatible with both the standard and solenoid Flycores and is controlled via dual-stage trigger with an ambidextrous mag release. Files cost $10 over on Check Your Vector's Etsy, and hardware kits are expected to be available soon. Links in description.
Brushless blasters have been gaining a lot of traction recently, especially with the rise of competitive tournaments. Project Stinger from Stinger Nerf is pushing the limits of brushless setups even further. With his background in building drones, he's opted to use a 6S LiPo over the more common 3 or 4S, allowing him to achieve 260 FPS at 20 darts a second with a much smaller motor and flywheel package. The options don't stop there, as this project has been crammed with a slew of amenities such as mag detection, ammo counter, closed-loop flywheel control, and an integrated swappable B-car. It's an impressive amount of features in a very slim form factor with a competitive price starting at around €450, depending on what options you added on. Currently, Stinger Nerf is only taking orders for completed version 1 units through his Instagram page and is already working on version 2 with changes based on feedback from the community, with plans to have a possible kit version available sometime in the future. If you'd like more information and a rundown of features, then be sure to check out the YouTube video linked below or reach out to Stinger Nerf on Instagram to snag one for yourself.
Can you hear that? It's not just Banshees who have to fear on the field anymore. Hobbyist designer Chance has teamed up with Roboman to make their own entry into the high FPS flywheel sphere. Machined out of heavy black acetyl, these require high torque motors to get them spinning. Once they are spinning though, it's off to the races, and these have some serious performance to them, firing at 200 FPS out of 40mm cage with 42k RPM motors. Coming in at $28 US for a pair, these are a great new entry into the flywheel space. For more information, link in the description.
BoomstickMods is known, among many other things, for a love of shell-fed blasters, and as such, he uses a lot of different shells. To deal with the wide variety of ammo holders that he may need to carry at a game, he has created a new Molle attachment inspired by the Warp Saya family of Talon mag holders, simply named Molle Universal Holders. The elastic can be adjusted to hold a wide variety of shells and mags for quick retrieval. Files are available for free on printables, link in description. 3D designer Meeker has wasted no time in remixing Flygonial's new Protean blaster into the Ryobian, which runs on Ryobi rechargeable batteries, is shorter overall, and includes a new folding stock. The files are available on his printables page. Foamdemic has released the 3D printed C90 kit that gives the Adventure Force Conquest Pro P90 Ergo, along with cosmetic and functional upgrades. New features include a 16mm barrel adapter, improved loading, and improved trigger and storage inside the removable stock extension. With over a week left, the SCRD Kickstarter for their new brightly colored tactical gear has rocketed past 3 stretch goals, unlocking Shadow Purple, Pacifist Pink, and Ravenous Red, with Gaia Green just around the corner. Vile and I got to check out this quality gear at Maryland Mayhem, and we'll be chatting with Ryan and Jesse of Silver Fox Industries and Charles of Containment Crew about the project on episode 33 of the podcast.
The official End War 2024 HvZ Player's Handbook is now live on the End War webpage. In it you can find all the usual game rules as well as the new bushwhacking mechanic unique to this year's theme. Monkey Mods has released a trio of covers for the new Monkey Mods B-Car. The new covers include long and short octagon covers and a cover with a spiral design to it. Xshot has released a Jurassic World tie-in skin for their Dread Blaster. Notably, this theme is previously served by Dartzone via the Adventure Force brand. Dartzone has released the promised alternative spring sets for both the Aeon and Nexus Pro X. The Aeon kit can achieve anywhere from 130 to 200 FPS, while the Nexus kit reaches from 130 FPS up to 250. Out of Darts is also releasing new spacers specifically for the Nexus Pro X, giving us even more options to dial in the exact numbers.
Middle market holding company Compass Diversified is selling airgun manufacturer Crosman, including the GameFace brand, to Daisy Manufacturing. Daisy will now own all of GameFace's IP and designs, but with the brand already in an inactive state, it's unclear what Daisy may decide to do with it. Saz has created an exterior skin for the Devil's Nerfworks concept pistol that make it look like the DC-17 hand blaster from the Clone Wars era of Star Wars. The files, which require some gluing to build, are available for free at MakerWorld. The X-Shot Longshot, originally a Target exclusive, has been found by a few folks at Walmart with updated packaging without the Only at Target logo. Meanwhile, Dartzone's Max line has started popping up at Buy Mart, a sports-oriented department store in the US's Pacific Northwest, and Busby's Air Warriors products have begun appearing on Amazon, although some are out of stock and there's not yet a centralized Amazon storefront for the brand. On an 8.5-hour live stream, Qualcomm S7 showed off the HBM23 by Bytech, a 3D printed belt-fed short dart LMG. Although he didn't quite get it running on that stream, you can tell that it's big, it's LiPo-powered, and it feeds darts pretty fast. Check Qualcomm's future streams for follow-ups.
My crosshairs this episode are on Reddit user PeerlessProps Halo Magnum Kronos. I'm always impressed to see traditional prop building techniques used in our hobby, and this was a really cool build, making use of by far one of my favorite blasters. I highly suggest checking out his build video showcasing all the unique methods that went into making this stunning replica of the Halo Magnum.
For my spotlight, I'm choosing this duo of Nuka-Cola Hammershots by Prestigious Entrance 6. From the rich red, the weathering, and the Nuka-Cola theming, this duo of Hammershots are a treat for any Fallout fan. Each with their own customizations, the second one's shape especially reminds me of a favorite hand cannon of mine, Fatebringer. Well done.
I miss the days when people just made fun websites for things they liked. Not a Facebook page or a YouTube channel, just a cool looking page with some pics and info on it. Well, my community crosshairs are dialed in on CR Nerf's new website made by his 11-year-old son to show off his love for the hobby. It includes the clever story behind his logo, pics from his trip to Maryland Mayhem, and info about local events. I wish our hobby had more of this. Great job.
And that's the news. Massive thank you as always to our contributors, Ko-Fi subscribers, and Discord moderation team. Be sure to check out this week's podcast episode where we'll be speaking with Ryan of Silver Fox Industries and Charles of Containment Crew about their joint venture into colorful tactical gear for the hobby. Don't forget as always to like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the merch store and Ko-Fi. Also make sure to leave a comment down below about how you felt about the video. As always, we'll see you in the next one.
This is the longest script I have to get through, so hopefully I can get through it without having to cough or something. The options don't stop there, as this project has been crammed with a slew of amenities, such as
dominance in the international available market ability. Fail.
Additionally, we have listings for 2-in-1 dart refills listed at 15. 15 would be a lot for darts. They're already expensive as is. Cut.
And special guest. Oh, special guest. Oh, damn it.
Their expenses doubled from around $500,000. No.
Can you hear that? No. No, it's not. I messed that up so bad.
X-Shot's dominance and international availability. That was the end of the story. That was the end of the story.
Around at the New England. Okay, I'll have to. Let me redo that. My God, I'm struggling right now.
Hey, so you ever think about filming the news again?
I don't know. I'm still kind of burned out from doing the news.
What if you got to cover the competitive scene?